Hey, coming up on this episode of Swing Nation, we've got performing for dancers or non-dancers, an appeal for videos for the Jazz Film Festival, and how do you stay healthy as a swing dancer or dancer in general. Swing Nation episode 19 starts now.
Hit that jive, close the door, get the carpet off the floor. Swing Nation,
people grooving together.
Truck on down, pimp your stroll, put some jelly on that roll. Swing Nation,
people grooving together.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Swing Nation episode 19 for Wednesday, April 17th. I am Spuds. That's Zucker Punch. And over there is Rick. Oh, Matic.
Yeah.
So I did my part. Now I'm going to be quiet. What's up with your hair? What is that?
What do you mean?
What is that, Tintin?
I always tend to dismiss which one's out of place.
All right. I'm just goofing on you.
Wow, you're being a jerk.
I'm being a jerk right off the bat.
What's wrong with your hair, huh?
Ah, yeah. You know,
you didn't comb it out between this time, did you?
I know.
I could tell.
I'm gonna comb it right now.
I could tell you didn't comb out his hair.
Live television.
So we get
classy.
If you see me in the street, ask me where's my comb. I'll show it to you immediately. We get free.
He's such a greaser.
Yeah. Hey, oh. We get haircuts.
Fonz, though.
No, I was trying to tell you guys, we get haircuts at work. A woman comes in and will cut your hair on Friday for $35. So just as a goof, because I had just got my hair cut like a couple days ago, as a goof, I was going to go in and say, yeah, can you take a little bit off? And I was going to, and how much is a haircut again? And I want her to say, look at my hair and go, $35. I don't know.
That's $1 per hair.
You're a terrible person.
I didn't actually do it, but I was so close. I was like,
wait,
I'm going to go.
Do you get a haircut at your desk? That'd be awesome. You just like work in.
No, you go on
Then you'd get hair everywhere. That'd be terrible.
That'd be funny. That'd be the funny part.
Terrible.
Swing
Nation,
here.
yeah.
Hey, Rick, so what's happening in the quick bits that we've got? The quick thingies, as you said last time.
The quick thingies. The quick thingies. Only one quick thingy this time. It is, last week we talked about the Frankie Manning Foundation announcing plans for Frankie 99. Further information, Frankie Manning Foundation doing a lot of stuff. It's awesome to hear that they're actually have multiple projects going on at the same time. They are supporting junior ambassadors to go to 2013 Beantown. If you were at ILHC in the junior division, amazing, by the way. The winners of that division, could I say Seal, Alexis and Rafael, are going to get sponsored to go to Beantown. And I don't know if they're competing or just kind of represent or what, but congratulations, you guys, and good job, Frankie Manning Foundation, supporting the next generation of Lindy Hoppers.
Yeah, always.
And that's so exciting because like Beantown is awesomely fun. So,
yeah.
and
is that a sort of youth-friendly event?
Yeah,
youth friendly.
Yeah, it's definitely friendly to people of all ages.
Cool.
It's one of those like all-inclusive, like we're a family camp type things.
Oh,
yeah, so that's awesome. Yeah, so we've got some interesting stuff for you this week. I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm doing here.
What is that? What?
I don't know. I mean, since I only
Hello,
have one.
Nicole. How are you?
Since I only have one wing, I'm like doing these weird gestures because I'm not used to gesturing only with one hand.
She's still broken. Sorry, folks. Takes a while to heal.
Yeah. Anyway, I've been having this conversation with a bunch of people lately. I don't know about you guys, about the performances that we do and classifying them kind of into like performances for the general public who aren't really invested in Lindy Hop yet versus performances for Lindy Hoppers. And these are the ones that we kind of call geeky performances, and that they're for like people who are already in the know. And I mean, I know that I definitely tend towards making choreography when I'm choreographing for people who are Lindy Hoppers already, where they'll be like, "Oh, did you see that? You turned that thing into that other thing." That's whoa!
Oh, surprise swing out! That's awesome.
Yeah, like surprise swing out is like case in point right there. I definitely tend towards that, and probably people who aren't well versed in Lindy Hop would not have any idea of why that's awesome. And so how you make pieces is a question that I kind of want to ask everyone. Who are you choreographing for when you're choreographing? And, how you decide that. And there's also a discussion to be had, I think, about which is a better performance, perhaps. What makes it a good performance, and really why you're choreographing at all. I was having this conversation with Mikey Petroza.
Mikey.
Yeah, he was like in town for like a hot second.
I know. I got to hang out a little bit for a little second. I wish I talked about that with him. What was his take on it?
That at this point in time, we as a community are kind of erring toward the geeky choreography side, like choreographing for ourselves and for each other rather than for the world at large. And I think he's trying to push more towards the side of choreography that's approachable and appreciable by everyone.
Interesting.
And I think that there's a place for both. I kind of like choreographing for my peers, but I think that there's definitely something to be said for a performance that transcends the medium that is available to everyone. I don't know. What do you think?
I have a very simplistic view of everything, so I'm just going to say I think hopefully you know where your target audience is. But even then, it's tricky. I guess it is tricky. Because if you know your target audience is going to be like Lindy Hop nerds, that still doesn't remove them from doing something else. Like remove you from doing something else that may not be Lindy Geeky, so to speak. You know what I mean? And vice versa, if you're doing a corporate event, you know you have a corporate event, it might be cool to do the geeky thing that you did at ILHC because, I'm twisted.
There's also the fact that, like, when you're doing a corporate gig, you kind of don't want to pander.
Right.
I don't want to pander anyway. I feel like this is my art. I want to, like, respect it and not just do, like, giving them sugar, taking sugar away, and just, like, doing a lot of air steps and that thing which I'm not allowed to do.
You do that at a corporate event?
Wow. I've been instructed to do something like that once. Money's money, dude. Man gotta eat.
So there's like making it work for the lowest common denominator and maybe losing a bit of your art while you're at it. Yeah. Versus like doing the high art version, the equivalent of jazz that doesn't count to 8. But that, like, people who are in the know are like, oh, yeah, that was sick. Huh. And maybe it's not binary, and maybe there's, like, a world of stuff in between. And you don't have to pander in order to, like, maintain your high standards. And I definitely think that's the case. I mean, we have wonderful dancers out there who are making it happen with, like, relatively simple stuff. Like, so the reason that this came up on the show is that we wanted to show you guys the video of Sky and Naomi at Bar Swingona.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my God! This just gives me a headache. How awesome this is. So go ahead.
Yeah, before we get into this, I think one of our challenges as dancers and as choreographers and as viewers is that, of course, whatever we see is automatically colored by our own experience with the dance and our expectations for what's good and what's great and what sucks. And so it's hard to like remove yourself and put yourself into someone else's brain and say, like, if I knew nothing about this dance and I was watching this, what would my experience be? So you really need to either be able to transport your brain into someone else's perspective who doesn't know anything about the dance and go, oh, that's not going to read for them at all. They have no idea. Or you need to show it to, like, the person who is your target demographic that you would want to appeal to and hope that it would appeal to them. Or you just hope that you get lucky and that you do something that has crossover appeal that you didn't know had crossover appeal. Like I think about the Super Mario Brothers routine that got picked up everywhere, got Reddited and whatever. I don't know if Captain Morgan was like, oh, I would love if this got a bazillion hits on YouTube.
Right.
Or maybe he was just like, you know what, this is going to be silly and fun. I want to do this with my partner.
Right.
And I think the audience I intended for, the people who are sitting in the seats right here, are going to love it. And, didn't look for virality in what he was creating. I I would love it if that sort of would happen all the time, as opposed to like I just want like gazillion people to watch what I'm doing, which would be like I think taking our art in a different direction. So like I mean, if we look at this, it's hard for me to not go, what would my mother think about looking at this? Because I think it's amazing.
So Barcelona.
It's a great event, by the way. I've never been. So why do you think this is emblematic of what we're talking about, Nicole?
Well, it came up for me because I had this conversation in my brain, and then I saw this video, and I was like, this is awesome. And it's really simple, which means that a lot of people would probably like see the quality of movement that both these dancers have and really enjoy it. But then I also have a difficulty with figuring out what's geeky versus what has broad appeal, because I'm so deeply ingrained in this scene, and it's really hard for me to tell. So I feel like every move that they make is beautiful, and why wouldn't everyone love to watch it? But I mean, maybe if I were watching this like 10 years ago and had never seen Lindy Hop, I would say, because classically trained dancer, that I've seen like way more complicated stuff out there, and I would maybe not appreciate it.
God, it's so hard to look at this without thinking it's amazing, but
like that.
Yeah, but when you really like, so to your point, if I have zero knowledge of the dance, what am I seeing?
Yeah.
I see a good-looking white guy and a pretty white girl doing, I think, some cool stuff. I don't know. It's hard for me to break out of my oh my god, this is amazing kind of opinion of this. I also think that good fluid movement just is good fluid movement, right? So the cream always rises to the top, And
that was so nice.
Yeah.
Let's talk about surprise swing out, but not the way we normally do surprise swing out.
I can't decide who to look at. I mean, I'm seriously torn between Sky and Naomi because everything they're doing is just so beautiful.
So I feel like this would, I can't take myself out of all the dance that I've done in the past 10 years and think about this from an outsider's perspective. I just can't.
I don't know. I mean, when you talk to people about what is Lindy Hop and what is swing, this probably does not mesh with their expectation, which is like there's going to be air,
right? And
it's going to be fast music, it's going to be frenetic, And so the things that were viral were like, that one ULHS
2006
that won finals of that one competition,
the fast finals, yeah.
The fast finals. What is it? The Max and what's his nose dancing?
Max and Tomas?
Yeah, like that one for some reason. A bazillion people were watching that. Thing. But it's because they were doing all these tricks and they were goofing or whatever. This I don't know. I haven't.
I can't believe someone can't see this and see beautiful movement. I mean, it's one thing if a lesser couple tried to do this and there was a jitter, there's a mess up. Mm-hmm. But the beauty in their routine for me is their simplicity, and not to get away from the point too much, but I think that plays in both venues. Of course, if it's got a big crazy number afterwards, so your corporate people don't get angry that you just kind of they felt like you did nothing. Anyway,
I mean, another piece that I think works really well is Avita and Michael's piece at ILHC with the umbrella, because it's like the quality of movement is excellent, the music is amazing, they look great doing it, but also there's a great story. So even if you don't understand all the movement, you're sensing this relationship that's evolving as you're watching it through the dance. So I think if you can if you can tell a story that anyone can access and have that mesh with the music and your movement, like I think that has a lot of crossover appeal. Like I was definitely cavelling the whole time, and I'm sure somebody who didn't know anything about swing would probably get a lot of that kind of romanticism of that piece.
Yeah, I think you may be right about the storytelling being the part that draws people in, and they can maybe like get something more out of it. Because I've definitely tried to show non-dancing friends like Sky and Frida's 24 Robbers, which I think is like an
Way up there,
amazing.
yeah.
It was so good, and they're just like, okay, so this is what you do.
Yeah.
And I can't understand that. It just, does not compute. And I've just been going back and forth on this a lot lately and feeling like I should be choreographing more for a broader audience. But at the same time, like, who do we ever make art for? We try to do the best that we can and make it for those who would appreciate it. Like, Starry Night isn't necessarily for me, who does not at all understand visual art.
Yeah.
In any way, shape, or form. It's got like so much nuance in it that I can't even fathom. And so, like, maybe it's all right to do the totally geeky thing.
Yeah, I think every dance form, every art form probably has this tension between something that is appealing to the people who are in the community versus something that has universal appeal. And like when I watch West Coast, I often wonder about like. To me, West Coast seems like it has an automatic appeal to people who are who don't know anything about West Coast swing, just because it's popular music. They're doing a lot of like very fast movement and trick based movement. But maybe if I knew more West Coast, I'd be like, no, there's other kinds of West Coast that I should be appreciating that I can't see that too. And I think that's true for hip hop. That's probably that's true for painting. It's true for a lot of things.
What if we ask the audience if you have any ideas about one video or another? Send us clips, post clips on the in the comments under the show. Down there, and we'll post some of them. Yeah, we'll just look at some of them.
So
cool.
So here's a good transition. So speaking of video
that
speaking of video that has popular appeal. We are excited to announce that there is the 2013 Jazz Dance Film Festival coming up. That is on August 9th, 2013. If you go to jazzdancefilmfest.com, you can find out more information. We talked about them last year. This is its 5th year running. I didn't know it's been going that long. But they basically want lots of people to submit whatever kinds of videos of you or other people doing vernacular jazz. And there's wonderful cash prizes if you win. And we
First place gets 700 big ones.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
That's awesome.
That's wonderful.
That is almost as high as the Swing Out New Hampshire contest that they're doing for the first time this year.
They have a contest?
$1,000 payout.
Shut the front door.
$1,000 payout.
Yeah.
I think it's a Strictly.
That's okay.
And it's like winner take all, I believe.
I should go
and it's
back.
free to enter if you're like a paying camper at Swing Out. I'm already registered.
Okay. Get back to the jazz.
Anyway, not to get...
That's amazing, though. Yeah.
Not to belittle this.
No.
We'll talk about it a little more. That's so good. Mike T. Thunderbolt, go for it.
Wait, we have a little promo. Do we have a little promo about the Jazz Dance Film Fest?
Yeah. We have something.
Hey.
Who's back? Yes.
That's awesome.
Wow.
This song always still makes me want to dance.
Oh, like, yeah, still praying.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Dragon.
I love that one.
Show off your moves, people.
I don't
Wow.
have that move. I only have one arm.
All right.
So head to jazzdancefilmfest.com to participate. If you have a camera, if you have internet, you can submit and possibly win amazing prizes, or at least get your video shown and looked at by a lot of people.
In such good company, too.
Yeah.
That's great.
I'm all for video.
So we've got
Hmm.
one more thing to talk about tonight that may be topical for reasons I certainly don't understand.
What are we talking about here?
Staying healthy as a dancer.
Not breaking yourself.
Not breaking yourself and putting yourself in a sling.
Yeah, so that's kind of the context for context
Sure.
for why I wanted to talk about this. Jason Zager wrote a blog post called "In Defense of the Rotator Cuff." This is not a rotator cuff injury, for the record, but being a shoulder injury and potentially having something dance related, I just thought it was really topical. And I mean, Mikey Pedroza just injured his calf, and I mean, how many of us raise your hand if you have not had a dance related injury? Yeah, no one here is raising their hands. So everyone injures themselves doing this at some point or other. I'd be interested in seeing whether we injure ourselves more than athletes do.
We are athletes. So I'll put us in the same bucket.
If we injure ourselves more than other people who are physically active doing a thing generally injure themselves. And there may be something said because it's improvised that it's harder to predict where you're going to be.
It's also dependent on another person, too.
Yeah.
In some aspects.
And lots of other people, potentially, if you're at a social dance, yeah.
So there are a lot of studies that show that dancing is really good for keeping you healthy as we age, both mentally and physically, that there are a lot that people do a lot better into their old age if they have something like dancing in their lives.
That's why I'm still dancing. I'm 106.
Yeah,
Wow.
all right.
Look good.
But we all injure ourselves before we even get old. And so I wonder what effect this has on how people think of longevity in their dance career. I mean, everyone who's a pro that I've talked to has some sort of contingency plan for when/if some body part goes terribly awry. And Nina Gilkinson has had significant recurring injuries for a long time. And Mikey Pedroza just injured himself. Who hasn't danced on a broken toe or a sprained leg or pulled groin, And I wonder whether this has to do with us doing our dance improperly or whether it's just something that happens with the kind of contact that we have. And this blog post talks about some ways that you can move and keep yourself safe just by where you keep your body. And so,
Is Jason a teacher? Doctor?
He's not a doctor.
He's just really into the body and stuff.
He's a rolfer.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And that's not rolling on the floor laughing.
Someone who does that professionally.
Cool.
Yeah. So check out his article. And it gives some good tips for keeping yourself safe. I mean, I know that when I'm teaching dance, I talk about keeping your shoulders down in your back so that you're not totally out beyond where you can keep yourself safe, and especially for follows in turning, because that's a lot of lateral pushing that's maybe not great for you. So there are definitely things you could do to keep yourself safer, but I'm kind of wondering if there's something about the way we dance in general, if not the way that we teach beginners, that leads us prone to
breakage,
lucky fins, among other things.
You've got a lucky fin.
That's what I've been calling it, just so that I don't feel bad about myself. It's my lucky fin.
Quack.
So,
check it out.
And I mean, breakdancing leaves you subject to some positions that would put you in trouble, right, Rick?
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a lot. There's obviously every dance has its things that are Like if you do a lot of air in Lindy Hop, then you're going to crash. That just happens, right? If you're doing a head spin, you're probably going to hurt your head at some point. Like, every dance has sort of its risk factors. There's probably some that, Tai Chi, you're probably doing really slow movement, you're probably not going to hurt yourself. So I think it's really about knowing your body and being able to go, oh, that doesn't feel good when I do it like that. I should figure out what's happening there, and dealing with things before they become huge problems.
Yeah,
like sometimes you feel like a weird twinge in your back and you ignore it and you dance the whole weekend. Probably not a good idea.
But there are also times when you have I had no idea this was happening until suddenly it was awful. And I needed to be in a sling, and I feel like I am generally pretty careful about taking good care of where I am when I'm dancing. So I don't know. Maybe it's just we're leaving ourselves vulnerable.
So if you are a medical professional and a dancer, not that we don't know any, we know a few of those actually. We could have talked to our guest 2 shows ago about that.
Yeah,
So,
Steve Bailey.
Steve Bailey. And you have ideas about how we can keep dancing this dance as long as possible, well into our golden years. We would love to hear some advice because, I love this dance. I never want to stop doing it.
Because people be broke.
People get broke.
I'm sorry.
People need to get fixed.
All right, we got time for one video.
Damn it.
That's it.
It's problems we have all these interesting topics. Let's do the Shim Sham.
Okay, let's go. All right.
What?
Okay, everybody.
8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh, you mean watch a video?
Watch a video of the Shim Sham. This is a sick Shim Sham, though. This is at the Jazz Roots Festival. Some guys you may have heard of. That would be Leonard, Alex, Pontus, and Remy.
And there's Nathan.
Who's that guy in the middle?
Nathan Bew.
Nathan.
Well, Nathan, since we're not doing last names.
Right, Nathan. See, he's making this big fuss about Alex's outfit. I don't understand.
Maybe there's something wrong with it. All I know is it's Leonard. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Except that Leonard's half in shadow.
I know. Put him in the middle.
So, Jazz Roots Festival is so much fun. This is in Paris, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
Yeah, and it's just, I did it one year. It's so much fun. This looks like a really good lineup of dudes to have there. Holy crap. Look at Remy go. How old is Remy? Is he 80?
Wow.
Wow, dude.
It's so good. All right, guys, who's winning right now? Who's your
We
winning?
are, Spuds. We are.
We are? We are? Okay.
We get to watch this.
All right. You got to keep your eye on Alex Dreyer, though. He's badass.
Go, Leonard!
Oh, my God.
He's such a muppet. It's a good thing there's that person behind the camera going, otherwise I wouldn't know when to come in.
Oh.
Okay, I think
Nice.
this is my favorite part
Yeah.
because they're just they're their own dancer, but they're so together in their lines.
I can't believe this is the Shim Sham.
I know, they're making it look so sick. I'm like, how are they killing the Shim Sham?
Okay, no, we don't have time for this, but you don't ever see a group of girls doing the Shim Sham. Why is that?
You don't?
Actually, well,
Do you?
currently, no. The girls in
How far back do you have to go in order to find an example?
Harlem Jazz Dance Festival.
Yeah.
We'll show a clip of that. We'll
All
show
right,
that next time.
next
Okay.
time.
So good.
Next time,
Yeah,
Gadget.
we'll, so that's at the Jazz Roots Festival, Paris. We'll show a clip of that because that's a really good point. But it's Frida and Ria DeBiase and Fatima and
wow.
I think Osa killing it.
Okay.
What?
I've never seen
All
that.
right.
Yeah, that was at the Harlem
Let's
Jazz
watch
Dance
it next
Festival.
time.
Was I there?
I'll grab a copy of it, or maybe you could check it out on YouTube if it's not.
I think we should put it in the next show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Planning for our next show. And we're out of time for this show.
Let me bring him out. I'll bring him out.
You do it.
I'm good at this.
Yes, you are.
You do it.
All right. Thank you so much for watching Swing Nation. Want to say once again, thank you to Casey McGill, who is awesome.
Can't even clap.
Yeah. Casey McGill. We want to say thank you to Paul Marino for our show open, and we want to thank you for Jeremy Harris for the beautiful backdrops. We want to say thank you to Cafe Sophie for always having us here. Cafe Sophie, come down if you're in the San Francisco area for the best tea. I tell you, I went to that other place. I gotta say what it was. Pete's. It was Pete's tea. It's crap. It's garbage. It's yucky.
Whoa.
But if you want to sponsor us, Pete's, you're awesome.
Love Pete's. So good.
Cafe Sophie is 30.
No bullshit. I still don't care.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, thank you. 3463 16th Street in San Francisco, serving the finest of verve coffee beverages, silk road teas, and tasty pastries. CafeSophieSF.com. Thank you to Jim Thorpe, who's always back there doing our boards.
He's doing the thinker right now. He's like,
yeah. Jim is awesome. And that's about it. If you want to email us at news@yehudi.com. Can they do talk@yehudi.com?
It might work.
It might work.
Try
give it a shot. We'll find out.
News@yehudi.com. Facebook, Yehudi. Twitter, we are at Yehudi, at Spuds, at Zuckerpunch, at Rickomatic. And did we add at Punkass Jim?
Might as well.
Might as well, if you want to talk to Jim. And call us, 201-984-SHOW, 201-984-7469. And also, rate us on iTunes. Go search for Swing Nation. Subscribe.
5 stars.
5 stars.
All
Subscribe to the podcast.
5.
And you will get it delivered to you piping hot, fresh every Wednesday, right in your hands. You could.
All right. Well, thanks for watching the show, guys. And it's been real. We'll talk to you next week.
Whoa. That's not attractive at all. Bye. Cut the camera. We're done.
All around the planet, gates are in the groove. Don't have to understand it, you just have to move. Truck on down, pimp your stroll, put some jelly on that road, Swing Nation.
People grooving together.